What up, man? It's Vash, and I'm about to do this thing. You know I gotta do that shit, though, man. You know I gotta do it, man. I gotta talk about Smokin Parade. That shit was dope. I gotta talk about it. I know everyone probably is already talking about it, but I gotta talk about the shit, though, man. This is made by the creators of Dead Man Wonderland, and Dead Man Wonderland, great fucking manga. It was. The anime, it was okay. You know what I'm saying? There were certain points that I thought were missed that should have been hit. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it was too focused on Takumi. Wasn't it his name? The guy who was the warden of the prison. It was too much focused on him being a primary antagonist when we know that the old man who was in the attic and all that shit, the top part of the jail, he was the antagonist. But still, it was a great shit. So when I saw that they were making another manga, I saw that shit on Anime News Network. I was like, alright, when it comes out, I'm gonna fucking read it. Then I saw it when I woke up this morning. I was just like, I'm about to fucking read it, and I was not fucking disappointed, bitch. That shit was fucking ridiculous. I have never seen any. That shit was crazy. That shit was crazy. I don't know how they even came up with this story. It's just a weird. It was weird enough to grab my attention. That's what it was. It was weird enough to grab my attention. Fuck the nostalgia factor of the shit. I was just kind of like, this main character, I think his name was Youkuo or something like that. He kind of looks like Gunta, just an older version of him. Just kind of like, yeah, he looks like a Gunta who doesn't give a fuck. And the guy who was like the leader of the Jackalope parade, he kind of looks like Seiji, just like a crazier version of him. Just like, yeah, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? But just the story itself was just weird. Like, even before I got to the actual plot line, just to open a sequence that color, all the color pages or whatever, and it was just kind of like, we at the Jackalope parade, we enjoy a happy ending, and you see them having a gun pointed towards someone, and you see all that. Because at first, I thought it was a doll that was on the ground. I was like, why are they aiming at a doll? But it was, we find out later on what happens to these people when the prosthetics take over or whatever. So I was just like, holy shit. But the basic story, from what I can gather, was, again, there was this kid, Youkuo, Kakujou, I think that's his name, and it's his birthday. I think he turned 15, if I'm not mistaken. He was a 15-year-old kid or whatever, and he seemed like he's obsessed with the rules and all that sort of shit. He's family oriented because he has an older sister who he takes care of. Even though I thought that was his younger sister, because she just looked young as shit. His sister's name is Mirai or something like that, Amira. And I thought that was his younger sister because she just looked young as fuck. But that's his older sister, and she didn't have any legs. I don't know if she was born without him or she lost them. I'm assuming she was born without him. And his parents are dead or gone or something like that. So he's taking care of his sister. And he's obsessed with these rules that he's made up himself, you know. Because in the opening part, some dude like threw a can or something like that, and he jumped on top of this motherfucker's car, and it was like, did you drop this? And the guy was like, nah, I was throwing it away. But he didn't throw it away in a trash can. So Youkuo was about to punch him in the fucking face. So that was strange. And then they started going into the explanation of the prosthetic limbs or whatever. And they're just pretty much saying how medical technology is like so advanced that people who are like in major accidents can return to work the same fucking day with these new prosthetics, you know. And his sister Mirai, she gets some legs. She gets some prosthetic legs, and they have these markings on them. I don't know what it is, but it's just a marking that they have on them. And she's just excited about these legs now. She's just kind of, yeah, I can walk and I can run and I can be able to look down at people's heads. I was like, what the fuck? That's a weird dream to have. But, you know, she's happy. You know what I mean? She's happy. So I'm happy for her. I was just like, hell yeah, she got legs now. Because we see a little tiny panel of her without the legs. You see her in a wheelchair, and her fucking pants are tied in the end like Lieutenant Dan and Forrest Gump. So that shit was kind of sad. I'm like, damn, she never knew the experience of walking, I'm assuming. So I felt, you know, happy for her. And she was like, it's my brother's birthday, so I'm going to cook on some stuff. But she's a shit cook, so she was just happy to be able to cook some stuff for her bro. But then we see that she is cooking with some friends or whatever. Some friends of hers are in the apartment that they rent or whatever, and she's cooking. And all of a sudden, she just kind of like freezes. I'm just like, what the fuck happened? I thought someone came in the house. And then we see Youkuo come in the house, and like everything just gets weird. It just gets completely weird from that point on. I'm just like, whoa, what happened? So he wakes up, right? and his arms, both his arms, and one of his legs is missing, just completely amputated. And his sister is sitting there with like this rabbit sort of mask thing just out of her face, and she's just crazy. She's just like, I love you, bro, and I wanted to bake happiness and all this weird shit, and she's just like completely crazy. And the two girls are dead at the table, and we look at the cake. They pan like to the cake that she made for him, and his fingers and toes are on the cake like as the candles. And she's just crazy, and like she starts sprouting other limbs and shit, and it looks insane. It looks insane. Like it was the weirdest fucking thing I'd ever seen in my life. But then the Jackalope parade comes in, and they just like, yeah, we gotta fucking put a stop to all this shit, and they got these crazy fucking weapons. And the one guy who looks like Seiji, he just fucking like is fighting her and all that shit. And at one point, she doesn't even know who Yuko is anymore. She's kind of like, who are you? You know what I'm saying? She just completely loses herself to this shit. The only thing that's fueling her, it seems, is her desire to like kill and cut shit up. I don't know if that has anything to do with the artificial limbs, like having some sort of chemical memory from the, you know, the connected limb. You know what I mean? Like, because the connected limb wasn't attached to a body, it wants to separate everything else. I don't know. Or maybe it's just some weird virus that was put on those limbs. You know, I don't know what the percentage is of people that shit is happening to, but you would have thought after the first motherfucker they would have stopped making them limbs, but apparently not. So the Jackalope parade is taking care of the shit, and the main woman is one of the women who was in the group. She sees Yuko's character in there, and she like blocks his eyes from seeing his sister be like taken out and killed by this group of people or whatever. So I felt bad for her then because he was crying and shit, you know. But then she, at one point, it was about to shoot her. The guy said he was about to shoot her, and she, Yuko, I almost said Gunter. Yuko jumps up and he receives a fucking wound in his chest. That shit looked like a giant hollow hole. Like, remember the hole that fucking Ukiura put in Ichigo's chest? That's what that shit looked like. It's just a big fucking hole in the middle of his chest. And I was just like, wow, this shit is crazy. You know, and he just screamed, like, I'm not about to let you murder my sister. Man, you guys are like the worst. You guys are like animals and beasts. And I can't let you do this shit to my sister. And she also gets shot because it goes through him and through her. And she's laying on the ground, and the mask that had like sprouted up and was covering her face goes away. So like we see half of her face, and she's crying, and she's like sorry, and he's like, you know, I'm about to hit you. What did I say about the rules? And she's like, thank you. And then she dies. She dies. And then the guy who looks like Sage, I can't remember his name. I don't know if they said it. They probably did, but I'm just stupid. And he looks over at Yuko, and then he's like, man, like, you a tough kid, though, man. You an amazing kid. What's your name? And that's when we learn, you know, Yuko's name. And from there, it just kind of like my life ended because my sister died and blah, 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 blah. And the chapter ends with that, with the guy standing over Yuko saying, you're an amazing kid. And that's how it ends. And I was just like, what? Like, it was amazing. It was just dope. It was just the craziest, like, it was weird and crazy, and it's a steampunk, so I'm just like, fuck yeah. It was just the weirdest thing I had seen that just, it got my attention right away. It really did get my attention because I know Yuko's gonna get artificial limbs, but I want to know, where do these limbs come from? Because if the artificial limbs are what turning these people into these jackalope rabbit things, where are these new guys getting these new limbs from? And you know, because it looks like from just what I saw, they were able to turn into like weapons. So how is that possible? Like, what's going on, man? I mean, art style is of course amazing because, you know, it just reminds you a little bit of Dead Man Wonderland. So it's amazing, and just from what I'm getting, the storyline itself seems to just be on fucking point. It was just pure amazing in this one chapter. You know what I'm saying? I'm hyped for that though. I am very hyped for that. You know, I mean, we got you know, some information in this, not too much because we have to, you know, continue the mystery, but we got some information. Shit was crazy as shit though, man. Let me know if you guys read Smokin Parade, man. Let me know how you feel about the shit though, man. We also got some information, a little bit anyway, about Platinum End, which is the new series by the creators of Death Note. So that's gonna be dope as well when that shit comes out. I can't wait for that either. But let me know what you guys think about this shit though, man. Smokin Parade, Chapter 1. Let me know what you think about it, man. VashTheKyd. What up, man? It's Vash, and I gotta do it. I got to. Everybody probably talking about it. I don't give a fuck, but I gotta talk about it. Smokin Parade, Chapter 1, from the creators of Dead Man Wonderland and all that stuff, though, man. It was weird. Fuck you, Darius. Fuck. How did I know this motherfucker was gonna call me right now? Hello.